Coming up on this episode of the Preston North End weekend warm-up, Youl Mawene's popped into Euxton for a little bit of a chat. Daniel Johnson, 50 goals on for Preston North End. He tells us his 5 favourites. We'll look ahead to the visit of West Bromwich Albion with Emil Rees and the gaffer, Frankie McAvoy. All that and so much more. Only here on the Preston North End weekend warm-up. And it's a warm welcome to Deepdale. Sir Tom has joined us as well. We've just been watching the official team photograph take place for the season with everybody in place and everybody full of the joys of spring, even though it's autumn now. But you know what I mean, because 5 games unbeaten now for Preston North End. And since the last time that you and I spoke, the draws at Bristol City and Sheffield United that Emil Rees said after the game felt like a win, and why wouldn't it, with an equaliser deep into stoppage time. So that's where we'll start this week with the highlights from Bramall Lane. Run VT.
Daniel Johnson leading out Preston North End. He on the hunt for his 50th goal in Preston North End colours, and he the man who has scored North End's only goal on the road thus far in the Championship this season. Only Swansea have played more passes in the Championship this season than Sheffield United, and of course North End saw off the Swans 3-1 at Deepdale before the international break. Freeman here picks it up on the left wing, in line with the edge of the box. Looks to dink in the cross towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It falls and it's in the back of the net. It's Morgan Gibbs-White who opens the scoring for Sheffield United. Now it's back with Bauer anchoring that 3-man back line for Preston North End. Hughes out to Earl. Earl's touch is heavy. Invited a challenge from Gibbs-White, but able to see him off. Ledson now picks a brilliant pass through for Daniel Johnson! Equaliser for Preston North End, and it's a 50th in Preston North End colours for Daniel Johnson. Owes much to the fantastic pass of Ryan Ledson. A full 35 yards, floated over the top of the Sheffield United defence, picked up by Johnson, who left Euxton in no man's land with his chest control and rolls it in to an empty net to make it Sheffield United 1, Preston North End 1.
What a ball and what a finish. You know, we just talked about the goalkeeper's starting position, and he got caught out there with a great ball, great first touch from Johnson.
Wriggle and flick the ball in field. Sheffield United take it back. Jordan Storey stepped in and it's open right up. John Fleck powering his way through the middle, one-on-one, and Everson with a magical save for Preston North End. He came out and made himself big. The goal. Norrington Davis though is able to smuggle it away down the left hand side. Gibbs-White now rolls it off for Fleck. Fleck carries it forward, cuts back in on Ledson, now finds Billy Sharp. Billy Sharp, one touch to steady himself, another to shoot, falls through for Berg. The roar tells you all you need to know. Sheffield United have scored. Everson's kick downfield goes towards Potts, who's sandwiched, and then Ledson is clattered into by Sharp. And there will be another free kick for North End, but it's only on the halfway line. North End needs some quality in stoppage time at Bramall Lane. North End trailing by 2-1. Ryan Ledson floats it forward up towards the edge of the box. It comes through. Jordan Storey keeps it alive, centred across goal. Emil Rees! Yes. Preston North End get their equaliser, and it's Emil Rees who restores parity deep in stoppage time. The free kick sent forward, flicked on, and there was Jordan Storey to send it across goal. And when composure was needed, Emil Rees came up with the answer and makes it Sheffield United 2, Preston North End 2, delirium in the away end.
Absolutely fantastic. You know, he deserves that for the work rate he's put in tonight. Absolutely amazing. You know, you always get one more chance, and we said you've got to take it if it comes along. You know, he missed that one before. He's made amends for it with that finish. What a great finish. And
out the cue for hordes of Sheffield United fans to exit Bramall Lane. The referee blows the full-time whistle, and Preston North End take a point from Bramall Lane. They've had to come from behind twice on the night, but through Daniel Johnson and Emil Rees, deservedly, it's finished. Sheffield United 2, Preston North End 2.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, you know, for myself on a personal level. I don't ever tell anyone my goals. like my own personal goals. But yeah, that was one of them. You know, to obviously get to the 50 mark, and happy for me today that I've done it.
And of course the goal that Daniel Johnson scored, his 50th in a Preston North End shirt, and we'll hear him chat about his goals between now and the end of the show. But we've had a very special visitor at Euxton this week, the GOAT himself, le piador, le français, genius, and other French expressions that I've just made up. Youl Mawene popped along to the training ground to say hello to us and remind us about the game against West Bromwich Albion a few years ago here at Deepdale. The fact that the West Bromwich Albion current manager gave him a custard pie, not literally. And we have a chat about young Noah, who's doing okay so far in the academy. But there's only one place that we can start with Youl, and that's about his time at North End. So let's start off. Mr. Mawene, how are you? And what does it feel to be so near to the badge again?
I'm great, and it's brilliant to be obviously here today. Fantastic facilities, pitch look immaculate. So we were happy at Springies back in the days, but this has gone to another level really.
It is a little bit different to Springfield. The pitch, immaculate still. Obviously Pete doing a fantastic job. I've got to say that because he's just turned all the machines off, so we can have a bit of thanks Pete for that. But it genuinely, it does look amazing here, doesn't it?
Yeah, magnificent. I mean, just the tools to obviously go and push and challenge, you know, and clubs obviously they need to grow at their own speed, obviously, and it's great to see the boys obviously having the tools to really work on their skills and hopefully put a good show on Saturday.
So what was it like wearing that badge, a little bit smaller on your shirt, but you enjoyed it here, I know that.
Yeah, obviously Preston's my club, you know, so, and that's how I see it, you know, so also Fleetwood now started to catch up, you know, obviously 6-7 years at Fleetwood as a staff member, they start to count now. But yeah, no, obviously I had good spell, bad spell. I experienced everything here, the ups and downs, the injuries, the playoff, the disappointment of not necessarily making to the top, probably just promotion missing in the end. But, you know, when I look back, the people I met, you know, just some fantastic guy, and what a journey, yeah.
You mentioned injuries there. You didn't have loads of injuries at Preston North End, but enough to obviously make you read about how to avoid them, maybe. So tell us in terms of the job that you're doing now, just explain what your role is.
Yes, obviously, unfortunately, I picked up my fair share, you know, and obviously that got me started a little bit on the more modern approach to get fit, to get stronger, and to hopefully avoid those things, you know. And so I think it's back in 2000, and I think it might be 2010, where I felt that I was getting on a bit. Obviously that's where I left Preston, and through the PFA done the sports science degree, you know, which was fantastic opportunity. Really grateful for the PFA for helping me out on that one, and then never look back. Obviously you try and push what you're doing. So a master at Euxton in strength and conditioning, and then trying to go through accreditation and kept building a new career really, and it wasn't easy. Because if you've not picked up a textbook for 15 years or so, it's a bit of a tricky one. But again, another journey which I'm really grateful for. I thoroughly enjoyed and love what I'm doing now back at Fleetwood, yeah.
And as far as you mentioned how near we were, you were the part of the last team to get to the Championship playoff final at Cardiff. It still hurts me to talk about it, but do you have happy memories? Or I know the result wasn't happy memory. I'm just trying to gauge in terms of your better memories at North End. Does it still have to go in there because of the journey, as much as I know it's not a great expression?
No, but it's definitely that day is probably the highlight, you know. And one of the highlights, obviously, outside of making your debut at North End at Deepdale for North End at Deepdale. So I mean, like we know, I forget a lot about some of those events. Yeah, about everything. But you know, we will talk about it. But obviously, the memory that will stay with me is obviously the fact that I think when we were on a bus on a journey from hotel to the stadium, and basically all Preston had come down, and it was a really hot day. Everyone was there on the grass having a good time before the game, and when the bus just drove past, you can feel that crowds on their feet, and you still get that shivers, obviously, you know, and it's also the people as well, you know, like loads of really good friends, probably closer to family than friends, to be honest, those days, you know. So yeah, definitely a highlight. Not quite the end result we wanted, could have been different, but just live and you learn. Yeah.
Have we just had a coffee with one of those friends who are better than families?
Yes, exactly, with Mr. O'Neill, you know, so who's become obviously a bit of an uncle or a brother for me, really.
Uncle, great uncle, I'd go as far as to say, possibly even a granddad.
And so, yeah, so like I said, you just meet people on your journey, and you stick around with some of them, they stick around with you. They deal with you, you're up and down, and you try and support each other. It's just like a bit of a family, really. And yeah, like I said, it's been a fantastic experience for me here. Yeah.
And in terms of family, obviously Oscar and Brian had gone through football, and now yourself and Noah, who is here at Preston North End. Can we talk about Noah briefly?
Yeah, we can. I mean, there's a bit of hype and that, and I just feel that sometimes it's a good thing. I get when people can see a name and starting to ask questions, and we're really fortunate. Obviously, Noah's development has been good, and he's part of a really good generation of young lads, I feel anyway, from what I've seen. They're just going through the ranks. They've still a hell of a long way to go, and but I just feel it's just no special treatment for me. I feel that it's just part of young local lads, you know, some of them who do support Preston, which he used to see me play there, and he's got obviously his own memory of the place, and so it's great obviously from a club like Preston to try and look into giving half a chance to local lads, whether it's Noah or other lads, you know, and that's how I see it really, yeah. So hopefully we'll see a lot more of that generation together over the next few days, few years, yeah.
I mean, he is a good lad. I know I've watched him growing up as well. But just in terms of, I know what you're saying about you being his dad. Now that he's here at North End, do you leave him alone, or do you still pull him every now and then and say, do this, don't do that? How does it work?
I don't think I've ever really been like that, you know. I feel that ultimately I'm his dad, and I'll help him as a dad. I can't be his agent, I can't be his coach. The coach have done a great job at Preston, the youth departments, and so it's a case of him making a mistake, being his own man a little bit. Now I probably can chip it with your own advice and there's been a few Sundays in the car where when the teams don't play too well, but that's as a dad obviously, you know, not as a coach, you know, and so yeah, I just obviously follow his development, not more or less than his other brother, and then just try and help out when I can. He's quite independent, and he'll probably tell me to do one quite a few times now, so I need to be careful what I say, obviously. So, but yeah, no, you know, I think that we've been happy with his development, and we just want him to keep grounded, and that's why I just feel that. You know, he doesn't need any special treatment, basically. You know, it's just another lad of that generation, and hopefully will go and do some good stuff on North End.
Second part of Youl's chat coming up soon, but I did promise you a little word with Daniel Johnson, his 50th goal in the colours of Preston North End. So who better to talk us through his favourites than the man himself?
Hi everyone, Mr. Johnson here. These are my top 5 from the 50 and counting. At number 5, we played Bradford away in League One. And for this goal, I just think, you know, we was on a steam train at the time, obviously wanting to get promoted. And I think just from the celebration, you can tell that I really enjoyed this goal. Obviously you can't see it on the screen, but there we go.
The celebrations can really start now against 10-man Bradford.
At number 4, we've got the goal I scored against Wigan. I really enjoyed this goal because it was something that we spoke about in the team meeting. Obviously, them repairing from the middle, ball going inside. And yeah, we managed to punish them, and obviously I was on the end of it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this goal, as you can tell by the celebration.
Fantastic, and it's Daniel Johnson who finishes it off, and perhaps finishes Wigan off in this game. It is Wigan 0, Preston 2.
At number 3, my last goal, my previous one, obviously Sheffield United away. Yeah, I think this goal, I really enjoyed this one actually because, you know, since obviously I've been back from the Gold Cup, this is something that, you know, we've done a few times in training. So we knew obviously one day it was going to pay off, and it did. And obviously the fans were giving me a bit of stick, so. At number 2, Birmingham away. I think everyone knows that I love playing down there. Obviously being coming from Aston Villa, I used to get a lot of stick. So yeah, this one made me really, really happy, and obviously we went on and won the game 3-1. But yeah, I just enjoy playing down there, and you know, this goal for me was could have been the number 1, but yeah, I had to say one special one. But yeah, this one here was really, really a proud moment for me, I should say, proud moment, and obviously giving some to their fans, as you can see. Okay. And at number 1, the special one. Yeah, this goal means a lot to me. Obviously, this is when I announced that I was having a little, well, not a little girl, but I was having a baby. So yeah, this goal will forever, stand out for me. There we have it. Yeah, special moment for me and my family, that one. And I'm glad I done it on home soil. There's the top 5, everyone. Thank you for watching. And like I said, I'm counting.
Now, I did tell you earlier on the show exactly why we're here at Deepdale, and of course, if you remembered, if you didn't, scroll back, -30, -30, -30, -30, do it a few more times. It's because the new team photograph took place earlier on today, and just for you, because we love you, here's a behind-the-scenes peek. And of course you can see the lads in their fineries here this weekend for the visit of West Bromwich Albion. Plenty of familiar faces from the visitors as well, but let's talk to the North End lads first of all. Emil Rees in just a moment, but let's start off with the words from the gaffer, Frankie McAvoy.
Yeah, well, firstly, the game the other night was great just to get the point. I felt it was a really good game, very open, a good team, to be fair, Sheffield United. And, I was just delighted in the end up that we managed to get a point. We had a good chance maybe to nick 3 with Emil going through, but good save for the goalkeeper. But in the same hand, Daniel makes a fantastic save for us just before that. So just great that we managed to get the point and keep our unbeaten run going. West Brom undefeated. Valerian, as he was at Barnsley last season, just showing they'll be really tough, very competitive, hard to beat, and they've started great. Although the last couple of results have been draws, but I expect nothing other than a really tough game. Where we've been really good recently in terms of a high press, that'll probably be a bit difficult to do on Saturday because they turn the ball, they put it forward, they put balls into the box, they make it really difficult for you. But they're going to be a formidable opponent. We'll give them every respect they're due, but we're in a good place. We'll be confident and we'll go and try and take the game to them.
Your family get to come over, I think, for the first time this weekend. How much are you looking forward to seeing them, and how much are you looking forward to them being actually able to see you in the Preston shirt?
Well, as I said before, I'm a big family man, so for them to come and finally see me play there, when I was back in Denmark playing there, they always came to watch me. So it's good for them to show what I'm doing now. So yeah, I'm really happy. They're a strong side, so we got a great test. But as we played the last couple of games, I'm confident we're going to get a good result.
Just before we get into part 2 of the Youl Mawene interview, have you got your ticket yet for this weekend's game? If you haven't and you want to come, mypne.com, or you could turn up in person at the ticket office. It will be open up to kick-off for you to come and enjoy the wonderful world of Deepdale. Or you could just listen if you maybe can't get to the game this weekend on iFollow. If you are living around the world, check your local listings to see whether you can watch it this weekend. Okay, say no more because we want part 2 of Youl Mawene. We heard from him earlier talking about himself and his son. Now we'll talk about West Bromwich Albion in a game that he sort of forgot, so we had to remind him, and the story about the custard pie from their manager. Listen, just before we finish this, and it is glorious here at Euxton today, by the way. You've brought the sunshine with us. It's West Bromwich Albion next this weekend for Preston North End. There's a game back in 2008 that you don't have great memories from. Thankfully, somebody's just sent us the goal. Thank you, Sam, for sending the goal through. You scored after 5 minutes. Corner comes in. You've got great memories now because we've just watched it.
Right. On many occasions, but particularly that year, but there's a reason for it. I've erased that season of my memory, or most of it. I don't recall many things, unfortunately. I'm not one for keeping all of those things, and sometimes I'm actually surprised of some of the stuff I saw. So today I was surprised. Apparently I scored in that game. But I have literally no memories of a game so far, but I remember the context of a game where it was a tough season for us. I think we started really poorly. I think Simo was in charge at the time. And obviously there'd been big ambition. That's my return season from that ACL injury I had. And really a tough year for me on and off the field. There was just so much going on and didn't play particularly well. And I remember playing game but not really enjoying it, and just having a few bad spells, and that's one of those ups and downs you have at clubs, and which you try and, like I said, erase of your memory, especially one of those Blackpool home game, which will not go there and we won't talk about it. But yeah. And so all I can remember is Van Alan Irvine took over in the winter of that year and really give us a massive boost, confidence and things starting to click basically. And we finished with the season really strongly, picking, I think we only lost maybe 2 or 3 times in that run where we were struggling. We were fighting for survival, and West Brom on the day were looking to, obviously they won the league that year, and so obviously at Deepdale, I remember us trying to make it a bit more of a fortress, being really, really hard to beat, and obviously picking the points we needed to survive, you know, and seeing the goal and the celebration, it probably took a little bit of a weight off my shoulder, because it was a tough year for me. Yeah, it was. I was playing, but it was a tough year basically for me, and so it felt that maybe that gives me a little bit of a boost where I needed it the most. Obviously, following that bad game I had against Blackpool, which we will not talk about.
You've done it twice now.
And so yeah, but you just go through this, and you know what, as a player you go through sometimes spell where you're not great, and you just got to grind it, and that was one of those moments, grinding season, and I mean, watching the goal, I mean, the ball get whipped, I just try and get myself free of my markers, close my eyes and just go for it basically. And if it's in the back of a net, it's better than obviously in a stand. And then that's so literally, I can remember the
pretty much half their defenders ended up in the stand, I think. You just seem to wipe out everybody in the back post.
Yeah, I just like I say, I just close my eyes basically. and that's why I have no recollection of the goal, you know.
But you also don't remember, Youl, that you got sent off right towards the end of the game as well. You'd been booked, there's a free kick, you're injured, but obviously you don't want to go off, and they're trying to work out what's happening, and the referee thinks you're time wasting, so gives you a second yellow card and you get sent off. No memory of that whatsoever, have you?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. I mean, I had to go through the full squad list and try and see what was the game about, and
Chris
everything.
Brown got sent off.
He did
then as well.
But I mean, like I said, I mean, off the top of my head, not remember much. I know I was struggling with my knee this season. I played a lot of games which I probably should not have started generally. When I look back and looking back after how obviously the problem I have now with bit of osteoarthritis and joints problem, wear and tears, and when I look back at that season I returned, it felt that it would have been more long-term, more beneficial to play probably half of the game I've started that year. I felt that maybe I started freed in the joint, maybe not quite ready to compete, and I had to put my body through it. And at the time, you do what you have to do, obviously. And as a player, you just want to be available and play and give everything for the team. But when I think back, I felt that I think Southampton away one of the game where clearly would have been very, very difficult for me to play, and then you try and force yourself in, and you know, sometimes you're just better taking your time a little bit maybe, and you make mistakes, you learn basically, you see. But like I said, on the plus side, we build momentum that year, especially from January, and those type of win to build that playoff campaign, which we followed it through obviously the year after, and handed up, I think it was at Brom against Sheffield United.
Yeah, we don't talk about that either.
Yeah, we won't talk about
I hated that night.
So we build that successful season on those type of performances where you are home, you need the points, and a West Brom team getting promoted, finishing top of the leagues, coming in, and you need to find a way, and you need to find a way to win, and even finishing with 9 men. You have to find a way to just see the game get the 3 points. Yeah.
It is West Brom this weekend. You know their manager. He doesn't know much about you.
He doesn't know me anymore.
Can you tell that story?
Yeah. No. So Valérien Ismaël was one of the top pro when I broke in Lens's first team, and he was a centre back. I was a centre back, and I was only maybe the 6th, 5th, 7th choice centre back, because the team was built to play in Europe and to compete in a league. And that year there'd been a lot of changing, and they had to get involved with a few younger players. I was only a youngster, and I got really good fortune because Valérien and others missed out obviously on some of the game, allows me to play a few games, and especially that game at Highbury in the first leg of a semi-final of the European League, and so I knew Valérien very quickly with that, but I saw him obviously moving to West Brom. He's gone on his career, obviously Bayern Munich, and accomplished professional player, fantastic career. Probably should have played more for France if he wasn't for Blanc, De Sailly and them, you know, really should. And I've met him when I was at Salford in a friendly early on the year, and I thought, and I introduced myself, and I just said, bonjour Valérien, ça va? And it's completely pied me off. So yeah, obviously those good connections in the game, obviously, but I don't blame him. He was obviously a player way beyond my level, and hopefully that might remind me of him. But he's doing fantastic, obviously, having took over at Barnsley. He's building his career, obviously, in this country, having done some great stuff, I've heard, in Germany, and I don't hold it. I'll all the best to him a part in that game, obviously.
Modest as ever. Thank you. It's lovely to see you back here.
Thanks,
All the best.
Thanks, brilliant.
Bonjour, mon I don't know any French.
Au revoir.
Apart from that. What is not to like about Youl Mawene? But that is it for this episode of the Weekend Warm-Up. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Just one last thing to say, the fan zone. If you're here on a match day in between the Alan Kelly stand and the Sir Tom Finney stand, you spoke, we listened, many improvements. They've turned it up to 11. Hopefully you're going to love it more than ever. It's open from 12 and it will stay open for after the match as well if you want to come in and discuss what we hope will be a continuation of that unbeaten run with 3 points against West Bromwich Albion. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the North End YouTube channel. That's it. As always, 3 rings when you get home, and come on North End! Imagine scoring here, by the way, like that. Yes! What a goal! He's done it! Yes, that's for you, Jean! Yes! Come on! Going up! If Pete the groundsman sees this has just been done with those computer graphics, Pete. Don't tell him. Shh. And don't use it.